Imagine waking up one morning feeling just like any other day, only to make one tiny routine move that sends you spiraling into a world of dizziness, confusion, or even a hospital bed. That's what happened to 71-year-old Helen Carter. She rose from her pillow, swung her legs over the side of the bed, and suddenly the room spun so violently she couldn't find her footing. By the time she reached the bathroom, she felt too weak to stand. Helen ended up with a fractured hip and weeks of grueling recovery, just from a moment she never saw coming. As we age, our bodies become exquisitely sensitive to little morning habits that once felt harmless. Something as simple as how you get out of bed, what you drink first, or whether you stretch your joints can set off a chain reaction affecting your heart, your balance, your digestion, even your brain. Today, we're going to look at 6 of the most common morning mistakes that seniors make. Mistakes so ordinary you probably do them without thinking. But here's the good news. Each one comes with an easy, research-backed tweak you can start tomorrow. Stick around, because toward the end, I'll share the single most overlooked error that nearly no one talks about. Yet it's one of the most dangerous of all. Mistake 1. Rising too quickly from bed. When you're young, hopping out of bed feels natural. But by your 70s or 80s, that sudden shift from lying flat to standing upright can send your blood pressure on a roller coaster ride. Doctors call it orthostatic hypotension. Your blood pools in your legs after hours of lying down, and when you stand up fast, there isn't enough pressure to deliver blood smoothly to your brain. The result? A blackout, a tumble, or a dizzy episode that can lead to serious injury. Take George, 74, who always prided himself on his morning stamina. He'd leap out of bed at first light, ready to conquer his crossword or tend to his garden. One dewy spring morning, though, he rose too quickly, felt an empty sensation in his head, and collapsed against the dresser. His wife found him moments later, unconscious and bruised. Luckily, he recovered, but it shook him to realize how vulnerable he'd become. Instead of a jarring pop-up, try easing into your day. When you first wake, take a few moments with your eyes closed to gather your thoughts. Wiggle your toes until you feel your feet awaken. Then stretch your arms overhead, as though you're reaching for the ceiling. Let your brain register that movement is coming. When you do sit up, keep your legs on the mattress for a beat, allowing blood to settle back into circulation. Only then place your feet on the floor, stand up slowly, and pause for a breath before taking your first step. Those extra seconds of gentle transition can be the difference between feeling solid on your feet and feeling like the ground has dropped out from under you. Mistake 2. Skipping hydration before anything else. After 8 hours of sleep, your body is running on dusty trails. Even slight dehydration thickens your blood, slows your circulation, and puts extra strain on your heart. Yet many wake up with a craving for coffee or tea and forget that water is the true fuel your body needs first. Coffee is a mild diuretic. It can actually draw water out of your cells, making dehydration worse, especially on its own. Evelyn, 75, remembered how she used to stumble into the kitchen, pour a strong brew, and chug it down before her feet touched the floor. Mornings were a headache-ridden blur, and her joints felt creaky and uncoordinated. Then her grandson, a medical student, pointed out how starting with water could change everything. Evelyn kept a glass at her bedside, and the next day she woke up garbled and tired, sipped that plain water, and felt a subtle warmth return to her hands and a soft, steady pulse in her temples. Within a week, her headaches vanished. Her mornings felt smoother, and she had enough energy to take her usual walk with her dog before sunrise. You don't need to complicate it. A glass of room temperature water, nothing fancy, sipped slowly as soon as you wake will prime your system. Give your kidneys something to work with. Thin your blood back to normal, and wake up your cells before you introduce caffeine or sugar. By the time you move on to your favorite espresso, you'll have set a stable foundation for your heart, your brain, and your entire body. Mistake 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. There's something magical about that first morning coffee. The aroma, the warmth, the kick of caffeine, pure comfort. But when your stomach is completely empty, that coffee is a shockwave. Acidity irritates the stomach lining. Cortisol spikes skyward, and your digestive tract, which hasn't processed food in 8 or more hours, wobbles under the sudden onslaught. Over time, you may start to experience heartburn, indigestion, or even nutrient absorption problems. Meet Robert, 72, who always skipped breakfast in favor of a tall black coffee. He presumed skipping calories would help him maintain his lean physique. Instead, he found himself battling acid reflux every afternoon, and an afternoon slump more severe than any midlife crisis. A friendly nutritionist suggested a simple swap. Eat a few almonds or spread a thin layer of peanut butter on a cracker before that first sip. Robert tried it the next morning. The peanut butter chalked the acid, the almonds gave a gentle lift to his blood sugar, and his coffee tasted smoother, without the jittery edge. Over the following month, his reflux all but disappeared, and he felt more even keel throughout the day. So before you reach for that coffee mug, give your stomach a little something to do. A handful of nuts, a slice of whole grain toast, or half a banana does the trick. It doesn't have to be a big meal, just enough to cushion the acidity and moderate your cortisol surge. You'll still savor the flavor and the energy boost, but with none of the digestive discomfort that can derail the rest of your day. Mistake 4. Neglecting your morning medication ritual. By the time you've celebrated your 70th birthday, chances are you're juggling a handful of prescriptions: blood pressure pills, thyroid hormones, blood thinners, bone strengtheners, and perhaps something to keep your cholesterol in check. Each one has its own instructions. Take on an empty stomach. Take with food. Avoid dairy. Avoid grapefruit. Forgetting or miscombining doses can undo all the good your doctor intended. Eleanor, now 78, once skipped her morning hormone pill because she forgot it had to be on an empty stomach. She took it later with breakfast, only to end up exhausted and dizzy. Her doctor explained that precise timing was crucial, so she devised a little morning station. A clear tray by her glass of water, each pill in a labeled slot, and a simple note taped above that said, "Before breakfast," or "with food." She also set an alarm on her phone at the same time every morning. No snooze allowed. That small system turned medication time from a guessing game to a dependable habit. Her energy stabilized, and she no longer worried about whether she'd made a dangerous mistake. If you're managing multiple prescriptions, consider setting up your own medication station. Keep everything in one place with clear cues about when and how to take each pill. An audible reminder can help overcome sleepy mornings, and a quick checklist will prevent any accidental skips or double doses. A few moments of organization go a long way toward protecting your heart, your bones, and your peace of mind. Mistake 5. Ignoring morning joint stiffness. Our joints are marvels of engineering, but like any well-oiled machine, they need lubrication. In youth, your body produces plenty of synovial fluid to keep knees, hips, shoulders, and spine moving smoothly. As you age, production slows, and overnight, your joints can grow stiff and achy. Ignoring that morning stiffness and powering straight into your routine is like firing up a car without letting the oil warm up. You risk damage or worse, a painful tear. Harold, now 90, was an avid ballroom dancer in his earlier years. But every morning, he woke with hips so tight he could barely shuffle to the kitchen. Determined to dance again, he began spending 5 minutes each morning gently rolling his ankles, tracing circles with his wrists, and bending his knees just a few degrees until he felt warmth seep into his muscles. On days when the air was crisp, he added a couple of lunges while holding onto the back of a sturdy chair. Within weeks, his joints felt more forgiving, and he even managed a few slow waltz steps in his living room, reminding him of happier times without pain. You don't need an elaborate routine, just a brief warm-up of the areas that feel tight. Even lying in bed, flex your feet up and down, bend each knee toward your chest, roll your shoulders, or gently twist your torso from side to side. When you do stand, shift your weight slowly from one leg to the other, giving your hip sockets time to welcome that first load. These little movements coax synovial fluid into place, ease stiffness, and prepare you for the day. Whether you're taking a stroll, tending to your garden, or just making breakfast. Mistake 6. Skipping your mental warm-up. Your mind is an extraordinary instrument, but like an intricate piano, it needs tuning. After waking, it's not unusual to feel mentally foggy. Names slip your memory, your word recall stutters, you struggle to thread together a coherent shopping list. Without a deliberate brain boost, the fog can linger, making tasks feel harder and sapping your confidence. Take Marjorie, 77, who felt her memory slipping away. She started each day stumbling over simple facts: her own phone number, the name of her favorite neighbor, the date of that week's book club. A retired librarian, she decided to reclaim her mental sharpness with a 5-minute bedside routine. She'd pick a random letter and list as many fruits as she could that began with it, then reverse count by sevens from 100. Sometimes she'd tackle 2 or 3 crossword clues from the daily paper. Almost immediately, she noticed her mind felt more alert, her speech smoother, and her confidence soared. Best of all, she looked forward to her morning brain game as much as her coffee. You might try naming, in sequence, each planet in our solar system, or each U.S. president you can remember. Then flip to a math exercise or a quick word puzzle. Keep it light and fun. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, but to send a clear signal to your brain that it's time to wake up too. 5 minutes of mental play can sharpen your focus, strengthen your memory pathways, and set a tone of clarity for the rest of your day, bringing it all together. Your mornings set the rhythm for every hour that follows. By weaving these 6 simple strategies into your routine, rising gently, hydrating before you caffeinate, fueling your body before you indulge, organizing your medications, loosening your joints, and warming up your mind, you transform ordinary moments into powerful safeguards. These aren't drastic lifestyle overhauls. They're tiny, intentional shifts that, repeated daily, build a fortress around your health, resilience, and independence. Tomorrow morning, try picking just one of these adjustments. Notice how your body feels, how confident you are on your feet, how sharp your thoughts are. Then add another tweak the next day, and another after that. Before long, these practices will become second nature, stitched seamlessly into your day. And with each gentle breath, each mindful sip of water, each deliberate stretch, and each playful brain puzzle, you're investing in years of active, joyful living. You deserve mornings that uplift you, mornings that empower you to move freely, think clearly, and savor life's simple pleasures. Start today. and give your body and mind the care they've earned.